Nebraska loses to Wisconsin 15-14 after being up 14-3 entering the fourth quarter. You know, I thought that, okay, well, there really shouldn't be a way that Wisconsin scores 10 points in the one quarter. And, God, I'm dumb. I mean, I want to say that I'm dead enough inside this doesn't hurt, but that would be a lie. This one really was, I think that this game came down to one thing, and that's the offensive line. I mean, it's the same thing all season. That we don't have an offensive line. We do not have a functional offensive line at all. John Johnston, Coronation, please subscribe, hit the like button, blah, blah, blah. You know, normally you can count on Nebraska's interior, the offensive line, to at least play decently. But if you go back and look at this game, the entire offense was thrown off its rhythm because Trent Hickson's snaps were low for a large part of the game. And that was a real problem. You know, it threw off timing. It threw off a lot of things. It throws them off worse when you don't have tackles that can even block. So, I mean, y'all watched it. This is the problem we have going forward with the future. Maybe I should leave this to the end. Oh, fuck it, I'll just get out of the way. We don't have an offensive line. And clearly from the depth we have, we apparently don't have any better guys than the guys we're seeing. Nobody's coached them. Their strength and conditioning is shit. And the biggest problem we have going forward is if you're a person who thinks, oh, we're going to hire the right coach and they're going to turn around in a year. No, they're not. Maybe as a miracle, but they're not, because our offensive line is just doesn't exist. Now, I don't think you can rebuild that in 1 year. You can't just go get nil and portal transfers. That would be, well, it'd be a miracle. I mean, maybe if you're looking for that. That's the future. Wisconsin game, I mean, you know, before the game I said Thompson to Palmer. Palmer scored the 2 touchdowns, you know, Thompson to Palmer. There you were. We just couldn't do anything at the end of the game to maintain first downs. And that's really what it came down to, is that's all we needed to do, was to get some first down. And, you know, then you, the last sequence of the game, I guess, you know, you kind of, I don't know, you kind of looked at the game and thought, well, we know how this is going to end. Even when Nebraska didn't do anything on their last offensive possession, Wisconsin got the ball back with too much time, and Graham Mertz made really kind of the one play he needed to play. And that's the other big thing about this game, or these losses all the time for Nebraska, is when we need to make plays, we do not make them. It was kind of fitting that Trey Palmer had a pass at the last play of the game, caught a ball, but didn't catch the ball because he dropped it. You know, I like the guy. He's been a playmaker for us, but he is not ready to be in the NFL. Having said that, there should be probably a certain amount of, you know, throughout our history, we've all loved the great Nebraska football players. We almost worship them as small deities, or we do a lot of the time. For the teams that lose, we haven't shown as much respect. And I don't think that that's fair to the set of seniors, because it was senior day. I mean, they stuck around. They stuck through a coaching staff that had to be, I don't know, every Thanksgiving, let's get drunk and ruin Thanksgiving family, you know, that kind of coaching staff, where they just lived through dysfunction and they still stayed there. And I don't know if that shows that they're deranged or very loyal. You can comment that and make comments about that in the comment section. So I realize it wasn't probably a meaningful win, but we could have knocked off that whole 10-year, haven't beat them in 10 years or the last 8 tries thing. That would have been nice. You know, for most of the game, the defense, I think, played pretty well. We didn't give up explosive plays in the run game. We didn't really give up huge explosive plays, just a few in the pass game, and I guess the one that counted the most. For most of the game, the defense gave up rush yardage, but when they needed to rise to the occasion and stop Wisconsin, they did until the end. And that's where you have to have complementary football. You have to have a defense that plays well, but you also have to have an offense that gets first down and uses clock when they need to and manages that. And we don't have any of that on the offensive side of the ball, which is kind of ironic since the guy we fired was supposed to be an offensive genius. I don't know what else to say of this game, although there's a big week coming. It'll be Thanksgiving. Don't let this ruin your Thanksgiving because it's not worth it. We'll probably hear about a new coach, probably in the next week. It's not going to be immediately, and I know that we all want to hear that announcement. We'll get there. Week at Iowa, and Iowa is beatable, but Wisconsin game was very winnable, and we just kind of threw it away at the end. Seems fitting for a Nebraska team that's now done that for 5 years. There is no hope. Fuck everything. Go Big Red. I look forward to your comments. But take care of yourselves. And like I said, don't let it ruin Thanksgiving. Have a good time with your families. And if you're that guy that just ruins Thanksgiving every year, I don't know. I guess it's what you do, man. I tell you not to do it this year, but it's just what you do. Maybe people actually look forward to it because they're like, oh, look, we're Nebraska football as a family. Dysfunction. Okay, goodbye.